What's happening, y'all? I'm the Blog and Nostalgic, and this is SlickBlast RapCast. Once again, please Spindrift. I'm gonna tag you until you give me a sponsor. Come on, Spindrift. I've been a supporter since day one. Spindrift, probably the best sparkling water out there right now. Real fruit, tastes better. See what I just did there? So Spindrift, come on. I have a special guest. I've been listening to this cat for a long time. Aaron, much love to you, man. Hope you're doing well. I've been listening to this cat pretty much 2005 was the year that I discovered Supastition, a dope underground MC from North Carolina. He's done stuff with Phonte and Big Pooh, Little Brother, Ken Starr, you know, some of the Justice League guys and the affiliated guys. Much love to you, little bro. Love you, man. You gotta get on with us, man. It's been way too long. Excuse me. So Superstition is always, I've always respected him as a lyricist, and just his style is very he goes really he goes deep and he's definitely in the conscious category. Obviously an overall complete MC, but I like his storytelling ability. Aside from his lyricism and just his flow, it's just like almost in your face, like it's coming at you. He's got that subtle and intense flow at the same time. Much love to everybody that's joining. I appreciate you. And so I told Superstition around 8:05 his time, 7:05 my time, 7 p.m. So I figured so we could set up and stuff like that. But no, Superstition is he was that Illmind S1 from the Strange Fruit Project, and Illmind. That's the first time I actually heard him, because I know he had an album out in like 2002, I believe, or 2003, but 2005 is when it caught my attention, when that he was on a track of that compilation. Great compilation. Ghostface was on there, El the Sensei, Shit Fool, the Fushnikins, a lot of legends on that album. So Superstition definitely holds his own as an MC and a lyricist. So what I'll do is I'm going to send him a request, as I told him I would. Excuse me. All right. There we go. Okay, cool. This is the best part, when I'm able to send a request right away with no issues. So thank you, IG, for cooperating this evening. I appreciate it. All right, there goes the man right there. Okay, Superstition, I just sent you a request, and there he is. All right.
Peace, man. How you doing?
Good, my brother. How are you, man?
Well. I'm doing well, man.
That's good. Good to hear, man. Man, I want to thank you first and foremost for rocking with me on SlickBlast RapCast. I think that it's important to showcase and show love to MCs like yourself, and that's where I come in to just remind people that you guys are still around and you guys are still relevant and dope. So thank you, man, for doing what you've done for hip hop as a whole and the culture, and just your style, man. I appreciate it. The in-depth, profound, in your face, but it's storytelling. I feel like it's a storytelling, and then the lyricism at the same time. You just have that style, man, and I appreciate it. So welcome, man.
Thank you. It's great that you provide brothers like myself a platform. A lot of us are overlooked. You know what I mean? Especially down to and I don't even like the word slept on, but a lot of times we're just overlooked or whatever. Sometimes it's like you go in a store, and if they've got Gucci there might be a nice piece next to it, but you're like, oh my God, look, this is Gucci for the same price or whatever. So
I love it.
Know what I mean? So
I'm the same way too. That's my approach on things. If I go to a mall, and I see, like you said, something nice and simple that looks good, and then there's something that's $200, I'm probably gonna go for that maybe $30-something item that looks probably better than the $200 item.
Right, but the average person, who wants to impress someone is gonna go for that $200, $300 item because it looks great to everybody else. So that's the thing with artists like ourselves.
Yes.
I find, I've come to realize that people like talking to their friends about music, but really about artists that their friends know. You know, we've got some of us who we put our friends on to different music, but there are a lot of people that they don't want to hear that. It's just like, man, I mean, I used to talk to my cousin. He's my older cousin. I actually started out rapping with him.
Okay.
As kind of a joke, but I remember trying to put him on to like different artists like Wu-Tang and the Roots and things like that. He was like, oh man, get these save hip hop motherfuckers out of here. And I'm just like, dude, like, but then like years later, he's just like, yo, you heard of like Method Man? I was like, yo, you can't be serious right now.
Come on, man, stop it.
I'm trying to put him on since Protect Your Neck. You know what I mean? He catches on by the second album. So
that's funny how that works. And you put that bug in his ear, and then later on he's like, oh yeah, you know that one dude that you told me about, but yeah, that's funny.
Right.
I love it, man. But again, man, that's again, man, I do appreciate MCs like you, and that song. It's in my playlist, actually. It's, in my going to work, when I'm driving list, the waiting period. And I see behind you the plaque of that album.
Oh, yeah.
2002, I believe, right? That was
2002. Actually, the song was recorded in 1999. I had a demo version of it with a completely different beat. That song went through a few different phases. I was working with one producer. And he kind of left the music industry, and then I got with my man E Hood, which is he's always been one of my closest friends since
much love
since the beginning. Yeah, shout out to E Hood, my man Eric Hood. We got in the studio and kind of did a demo of it, and out of all the songs that I recorded, that song seemed to stick out more than anything. So when I was around back then, when you would shop your demo, that's the song that really caught fire, ironically enough. And it was a song about not being heard or not being able to get heard. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And even my wife is a hip hop head as well. And she was in the car with me when I had that song on, and she's like, she knew about you because she's from Cali. So she knew about you. And then she's like, man, this is a dope song. Who is this guy? I'm like, Supastition. I'm like, that's the same guy you're talking about. Oh yeah, that underground guy. And that's the thing. I like that she said that, the underground guy. She didn't say, because again, unfortunately nowadays there's genres, there's avenues, and like just with the whole I still call it jazzy hip hop. When I think of J. Ross or all of the jazzy people that we love in hip hop, I still call it jazzy hip hop. Now it's lo-fi.
Right.
People call it lo-fi too, and I respect it.
Yeah. But, to us, that with lo-fi, like you said, I respect it, but we know that's just early hip hop to us. You know what I mean? But the reason we were making those type of beats back then and recording that type of music was because we didn't have a lot of sample time. You know what I mean? So we would have to speed the record up, or you'd have like the SP12 that they didn't have complete CD quality level samples and things like that too. So back then everything was lo-fi to us. So
absolutely. And again, I appreciate everybody that's rocking with us. We got the iconic underground MC Supastition with the Balkan Nostalgic once again, SlickBlast RapCast, and this is dope to have you on, man. And again, I knew about your 2002 album because the joint that I love on that album is the one I just said.
Right.
2005, a lot of, again, people that we know about and other heads do on here, I'm sure, and the ones that don't just do it kind of mainstream and then plain old, the usual suspects.
Right.
S1, not only an MC, a dope producer from the Strange Fruit Project.
Very dope. Yeah.
Very dope. And then you got Illmind. Before the G-Unit stuff, Illmind was in his lane, underground, before he found the niche in the mainstream world. And God bless him, he found the niche. But that album, the One Mind compilation.
Wow.
That song, your track was number 2, I remember it. And it's called Never Change.
Yeah, Never Change. Yeah.
And S1's production was right away like hitting me like, oh damn, I like how they're doing the Dilla Madlib Champion sound vibes. They're taking turns producing with different MCs. And then I hear you on that song, and right away, I'm vibing to it. I'm vibing to it because not only the lyrical cadence, but you're saying a story at the same time. And again, man, that's hard to do. A lot of MCs can't do that. Some MCs could storytell, but not lyricize too much. And then so that's not even a word, but lyricize.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make it like Mary J. Blige. Man.
That's a Keith Murray word right there.
That's the Keith Murray, exactly. Exactly. I love it. So my whole thing was like, damn, this dude is like, he's being serious about his message. Like, we can't even kick it at the mall no more. Like, something's better. Yeah. So I listen, bro. I pay attention.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, that track was dope because at that time I was actively working with Illmind. This was early. So I started working with Illmind right after 7 Years of Bad Luck. I started working with Illmind, M Phases, De La from France, different people like that. And Illmind had reached out to me, and I already knew about S1 because I was a huge Strange Fruit Project fan.
Oh yeah.
Because this was around the time of like me, Little Brother, Strange Fruit.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like
that era, like you guys were on fire. Basically.
Right.
Yeah.
And so Illmind reached out to me he told me he was doing a project with S1, and I'd always had wanted to work with S1. And, but I found it dope because S1 sent the beat. I just assumed immediately I would be rapped to an Illmind beat, but it was an S1 beat. But man, I would tell you S1 would send like beats through, and it's not a matter of which one I like. It's like, man, how many can I have? Like,
yeah. So, you were hyped. You were like a kid in the candy store. Like, I want the Snickers, the Twix, and the
man.
Not just one.
Yeah, around that time too, like with S1 and Illmind and M Phases, because back then this was around and this is early, like America Online, AOL. Yes. So we didn't have like back then we didn't have like the high speed networks and DSL. So correct. I remember M Phases would send me I wouldn't even hear the beat. He would send me beats already tracked out by snail mail. A CD would just show up. It's already tracked out. Like, I don't even listen to it before. I would just take it straight to the studio, tell the engineer to pull it up, and I would record to it right on spot. First time I ever heard it. A lot of the songs that I've done was like that. And Illmind as well, man. Like, we didn't have the capacity to send back, back and forth thousands of beats and things like that. It took forever to send a beat. So when Illmind or S1 or anybody would send me a beat, or Jake One would send me a beat, it was like, I'm recording to this, man. I'm not playing games with it, bro.
Yeah, and a guy said, Scratchzilla, y'all showing your age right now. Hey, man, and we're proud of it, baby.
Yeah, man.
We were there in the essence of the golden era. We were there, and then we stuck with it. So hell yeah, I'm proud of that.
Definitely, yeah. We've witnessed all forms of hip hop, all forms of communication. You know what I mean?
Yeah, real communication.
Yeah.
Shout out to DJ Hector V, E Money, Scratchzilla, everybody that's on with us. Rubik's One, a lot of the regulars on here. We appreciate everybody else that's on with us, and I'm sure some of your followers as well. Much love to them.
Indeed.
So there's another thing you're gonna appreciate. You're gonna appreciate this a lot, and it is crazy how, like, the algorithm in terms of who I've had on. The connections have been natural and crazy because he's become basically, he was on my, yesterday was the second time he was on my show because we just have a good connection. Your man, you've done at least 5 or 6 tracks with him. I'm pretty confident and sure about that. Wordsworth, he was on yesterday.
Yes. Yeah, shout out to my brother Words, man. We talk pretty frequently, man. And this is this is me being just a hip hop head in general. Every time I talk to Wordsworth, I'm like, yo, I'm talking to the guy from Lyricist Lounge. Like,
exactly.
And I'm from North Carolina, so I remember one of my, my first experiences with the Lyricist Lounge was like, of course we would hear like the album and things like that, which is a classic album. But I went to New York and we went to Making Records, and it was like Pumpkinhead there. I'm always gonna call PH Pumpkinhead. Jean Grey was there. Bad C was there.
Rest in peace, PH.
Indeed. Rest in peace to PH. And that night, Pumpkinhead was like, yo, we're performing at the Lyricist Lounge. Someone can't make it. I think it was DCQ from Medina Green. And he said, he was like, yo, do you have just spit 8 bars like with us on stage? And I was like at the Lyricist Lounge, you know what I'm saying? Like performance. And it was just mind blowing. I was coming back, telling everybody back home. And it was just like, yo, it's crazy. So I tell you all that to say, whenever I talk to the brother Wordsworth, man, I'm always humbled because, to me, Wordsworth is a legend to me.
He is a legend. No, he's an absolute legend. Yeah,
definitely, man. And so we were working on, we're still working on a project together.
Yeah.
We've got, like you said, we've got about 5 or 6 joints. We may even have more than that. I got to go back and check or whatever. But it's crazy when we hear, because I always joke with them and say we're the mercenaries for hire, because we had, prior to that, we had never done a song per se together.
Correct.
But whenever someone wanted a feature, they'd reach out to Words and they'd reach out to me. Pumpkinhead did it. Ken Starr did it. It's like all these people would reach out to us. I think DJ JS1 and all these people would reach out to us. And I was like, yo, man, like we kind of like the mercenaries for hire. And he was like, yo, I just like the ring of that. And we just started just working on a project. And then when we did our first song together, we realized how much alike we are. Like our styles are different. But as far as our voices and things like that, it just flows naturally together, man. I like Words because we can do a song about anything. And I know Words, it doesn't matter the concept.
Right.
He's not limited to certain beats. He's not limited to certain just stories or concepts and things. And that's what makes it fun to work with Wordsworth. So shout out to him.
Yeah, shout out to him, man. He's a real good dude. And obviously he's had nothing but great things to say about you. And then it was reversing, flipping the script. I told him, I said, that's crazy that you're mentioning Supastition, because I'm gonna have him on tomorrow. He's like, yeah, I saw that. And he was excited. He was smiling. So
yeah.
The synergy and the energy level with you two is obviously a nice cohesive unit, you know?
Definitely, man. Definitely, man. Like I said, he's a good brother, man. We get on the phone and talk about it. We talk for hours about music, about sports, sneakers, all type of things, man. So and both of them, we have like real life conversations, because even though we're kind of, quote unquote known MCs, right, especially in like independent music, we both have 9-to-5 jobs and we both don't hide it. And so we would talk about, look, man, like what, imagine if we didn't have those during the pandemic, like, we would be really, really struggling right now and going through a lot. So, it's just a blessing to be able to pivot when you need to, and then be able to do music, in the same vein. But I also think that's great too, because having a 9-to-5, and especially like a great 9-to-5, is you take away the desperation aspect of it. You don't make music just so someone could hear it, or just to get more attention. You just make music because you love it. And I feel like right now I'm making some of the best music I've ever made before. Somebody broke it down to me about Nas. They was like, yo, why these last Nas album is like amazing. And somebody said to me, I don't think Nas depends on music the way he used to. He's got investments, he's got companies and all these things. And when you remove that, you can make some of the best music of your life, man. Just go in there and just vibe out to it. So
and one thing, Rubik's One, the homie, a good brother, and he's a loyal brother. Yeah, no, definitely Rubik's One. So basically him and Words have a full album. So that's already happening. That's why I mentioned it. Like,
yeah, man.
I mentioned that. That's why I mentioned it. They already have a full album, basically, almost.
I think it's probably about, I want to say it's about 7 or 8 tracks. I think I produced maybe 3 or 4. I brought in some production from my man Praise. We've got a couple different joints, man. So we got to finish it up. We've kind of just vowed to get it finished this year. So that's one of the projects that I'm looking forward to getting out this year.
Definitely, man. And like I do with every guest, I wanna invite you at some point when like when we have the time like we do now. Words is in, he's down. So I want to include you in the 4. I do it live. So I do, aside from having legends and OGs like yourself on, I have a segment called Mix and Match. Okay. So this is and for the record, this is genuinely before Disney started their What If, and Disney, cut me a check. No, but this is something I take pride in that I started, and I know that people are probably at bars or when you're in family gatherings, everybody has their own little scenarios, but doing it on a platform, Mix and Match has been very, very popular, man, and people love it. So I want to have you on Mix and Match. So basically, it's the fantasy football of hip hop and music in general. So you can go. I'll give you an example. Okay, Supastition making his debut on Mix and Match. Wordsworth is right up there, Hollywood Square style. I'm here, and then one of the homies on here. So your first choice will be Phonte, Big Pooh, Supastition, Wordsworth, and Mos Def, a super group. Produced by Ninth, RJD2, S1. Bam. Wow. And then you see that? You see it, right? I love it. And that's the top of my head too. I'm an MC as well, so I improvise.
Yeah, but, that's that's powerful, man.
It blew your mind away, right?
Yeah, man. It's like, it's almost, because, you know, also being like a comic book head and things, it's like you look at them as like crossovers or whatever, man. Yeah. It's just like, man, it's like it's almost like a multi-universe. And I always used to joke with people and say, yo, what if, you know, back in the day, record labels made trades the way that NBA teams and NFL teams made trades or whatever. You know what I mean? You just hear like, yo, Jay-Z's been traded to so-and-so label for 3 artists and things like that. So
yeah, exactly. So yeah, man, and it's a manifestation thing. Cause look I had the legend Master Ace on, and we were on for 2 hours. It was bizarre. It was a bizarre, great time. Because
shout out to Ace, man.
Shout out to Ace. He said he would work with Missy Elliott. So I said, let's manifest it. I'll tag Missy Elliott. I'll do the best of my ability to bring things to life, because that's what we want to do. So I would love to hear your list of 10 when you are, you know, ready, and obviously we'll get it together. I'll set everything up for you guys.
Okay.
It'll be you, Wordsworth, me, and I'll get one of the homies to get on with us. It'll be good. So I want to hear your list. It'll be interesting, you know.
Okay, great.
Yeah, that sounds good. And then not only that, man, again, you got to think about it like this. The Onemind compilation from 2005, Ghostface, Wu-Tang Legend, Elder Sensei, Chip Fu, the Fushnikins, who I'm actually going to have on Friday, by the way. Yeah. So you're a part of a lyrical album. You got lyricists from the wazoo. So I think that, I mean, how do you feel to be a part of that elite group in terms of that compilation?
Man, it feels almost like a kind of a dream come true, man. Sure. Sometimes I gotta, you know, especially, you know, I took some years off of music, and it really didn't, I had this thing where, basically I was saying, like, I never understood I was kind of a somewhat legendary artist until I told my favorite rapper he was a legend, and he knew who I was and was like, man, you're a legend yourself. So, being in a group like that, as far as a compilation and being mentioned in the same vein on the Onemind project, on the OK Player compilation, also being on the Wake Up Show anthem with, you know, Locksmith, Crooked Eye, you know, DJ Jazzy Jeff, Be Real,
look at that, bro.
Of Mischief, like, man, just to even be mentioned in that same vein or be on the same song with those guys is a blessing. You know, I always, you know, it still doesn't feel real to me. Like, I've been on songs with KRS-One, all these people that I grew up listening to, Master Ace. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Me Words and Master Ace have a joint, and a lot of people know Master Ace is one of my favorite MCs of all time. You could hear the influence in my music when you know, you can tell I'm influenced by Master Ace.
You know definitely. I could hear your storytelling abilities and your heart. Your cadence and heart go together, man. It's just, you could feel. Here's the thing. There's certain MCs that say, okay, he's dope, he's got metaphors, okay, cool. And then you got MCs like you feel it the minute that you step on the mic, the first 5 seconds onto the last 3 minutes of the song, you can feel the impact of what you're saying, and it's coming from your heart. Like, it's a transparent feeling when you're rhyming. It's like your life is on the line. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does, man. I kind of attribute that to I just grew up with a lot of R&B and soul music, and when I listened to hip hop in general, even from the beginning, it was more of just head nod. Well, in beginning, it was more dance and things like that. You know what I'm saying? So you felt it. You felt hip hop the way you would feel like an R&B or soul music, because a lot of it was based on that. And then we got into an era of just hip hop is just head nod shit. You know what I'm saying? So when I do my music, I try to make that same feel. Not to say it's throwback, but I want people to feel it. When you hear me rhyme, like, you hear the passion, you hear the soul, you hear the pain. You're supposed to hear all of that. Like, I could just get up here and just rap with no feeling at all and just put a bunch of words together and rhyme 16 things together in 2 bars, but that doesn't mean it's anything memorable when you're done with it. It's something that you have to walk away from it and say, well, man, like, that hit me. Whether it's me just kicking a random verse or whether it's a concept joint. So I just try to make sure just people feel it, bro. It's got to have some soul to it, man. Yeah. That separates, I think, the great artists from the good artists.
Absolutely, most definitely. Shout out to my mom. She's saying hi. She's on the OG, and
Okay, peace, peace.
much love to her. And also the homie DJ Hector V. I'm gonna honor his question. Yeah, if anybody has questions as well, I'll make sure to put it on the question thing right there, and we'll set it up. Hector's asking, who's your favorite MC? Who's your favorite rapper?
Of all time?
Yeah.
Of all time, my favorite rapper would be Rakim. I say this because as a youngster, like Run DMC was probably one of the first groups that I loved. I was into Dougie Fresh, Slick Rick, The Show, everything like that.
Yeah.
Things prior to that, I listened to it, but things like Grandmaster Flash to me didn't resonate with me back then because I was so young.
Yeah,
we were short. They dressed like the disco artists and the dance artists that my uncles and my mom and everybody else would listen to. So when I saw Run DMC, I'm like, these guys make it look cool. Yeah. But let me tell you, the first time I heard Rakim rhyme,
oh my God,
it made everybody else sound like they were elementary. You know what I'm saying? The way that he put words together, as far as his voice, like his voice, when you heard Rakim on a song, it was exactly like you said. When a Rakim song came on, you listened from beginning to end. There was nothing else to it. So Rakim is my all-time favorite. That will never change. But I also love people like Master Ace, Black Thought, Royce the 5'9", like you know what I'm saying? Yes. Like I love MCs that are, that's our word. We like to say lyrical. I love MCs that really have bars and can put together words together and songs together. But yeah, Rakim is my all-time favorite, man.
I love it. And again, Nas, that's where it's almost like Rakim had the little baby and Nas came out and then,
And also this guy right here, man.
Oh, that's Biggie, right? Yeah, he's kind of a known guy named Christopher Wallace. I like that. I like how you busted it out. That was cool.
Definitely, somebody said Big Daddy Kane. Of course. So the thing I would always say is that when I put my style together, I learned the voice from Rakim. I learned the stories from Slick Rick. I learned the punchlines from Lord Finesse. And I learned the wittiness from Big Daddy Kane and Master Ace and stuff like that. So that's kind of defines just me as an MC. So.
I love that. Okay, so all of those guys, and then they put it in a pot, and then they bring you out, and you're a little guy.
You can hear all of them in my music.
Shout out to Logic as well, man. Much love to him.
Shout out to my bro Logic, man. He's a dope, incredible MC. Incredible.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. And by the way, another guy that you did a song with, Blueprint. I had Blueprint on last year. He's a very, very good guy, nice guy as well. Good conversation. And that's what I mean. A lot of the underground guys that I have admired for a long time, man, that's been my goal since I've been doing this, is to get you guys on. All the guys that are not talked about. And right? Not the usual suspects. The guys that are lyrical assassins. And they're doing their job, they're doing the work, like you said, but they the voice needs to be heard. So that's my part. That's what I want to do. Right. I want to push it as forward as I can, So
yeah. Shout out to Blueprint. It's one of my, as far as the music industry too. Even though I'm not necessarily consider myself to be in the music industry per se, he's one of my closest friends, man. Because we went on tour. He took me on my biggest tour. 60 cities. We just became brothers after that, man. I mean, we speak pretty frequently. I just talked to him a couple of days ago, man. We talk about real life things, man. And shout out Logic as well too. I just spoke with him probably a couple of weeks ago as well. Yeah. So
I love it. Yeah. Shout out and Logic, thank you for the follow. I do appreciate that, man. Yeah. For anybody that's not following SlickBlast RapCast, please do. Yeah. We just talk about 100% real, authentic hip hop. This is what we do. Right. So this is another thing. I don't know if you've noticed it. I'm sure you have, but I kind of want to talk about it because I want to know how you feel about this. When certain guys on social media, the so-called heads that maybe just started hearing hip hop 7 years ago and they weren't there from the beginning, but they appreciate it. I'll give them that.
Yeah.
They weren't there. So when guys are forgotten, like you, certain guys that are very appreciated in our hearts, and we know what it is, because it's in the sewer, it's in underground. But then when guys say, "Oh yeah, the new J. Cole, yeah," and then and he's a beast. I'm not saying anything, but I'm saying like the usual suspects that people talk about, like Jadakiss, certain guys that are already in that mainstream realm. What I do is they'll say, "Oh yeah, that one guy, that underground guy, he's solid." That term "solid" to me, man, I don't use that word a lot because it seems to be it's one of the most overused terms in social media for the last 3 years, literally. And when somebody says solid, I think that's a casual, lazy way of saying it's good. It's all right, it's good, but I'm not feeling it. So I think that people need to step it up and stop being lazy and hear the whole song and the album. Don't just skim through stuff and be like, okay, I decided that out of the 10 songs, I like 3 just because you skim through it and you're in a rush. Don't do that. So
I would say kind of just to counter what you said though, they're in a different era where music is listened to so fast it's not really digested. Man. If I asked you, yo, where were you the first time you heard Paid in Full, right? Like, we have memories of the summer that it was, what kind of car we had, where we were, where we lived, and things like this. But now for this kind of the younger generation, if I ask you, yo, where were you when you heard Nas's last album? 9 times out of 10, you were either in front of your computer. So there's no memories a lot of times to go along with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's almost like the music is kind of it's lost its feel. The music is still great, but they don't have the memories with it and things like that, man. So I think it's just a little bit different. Yeah, it's just I call it the microwave era of music when it comes to streaming and all that stuff. That, like you said, the digestion level is hot pocket status. Like, okay, 2 minutes and 30 seconds, boom, food's ready. That's how I feel about these all these albums that are being rushed. And it's not their fault. I get it. It's a business, but we know what it's like to play an album for an entire year or an entire season. I mean, like, this was the soundtrack of my summer. Every time I got in the car, every time I went somewhere, I remember listening. I remember listening to the Ready to Die album. It's like, this is back when I was as a teenager, and I would just drive around nonstop and play this album loud, roll all the windows down, so everybody knew that I was listening to Biggie. Or if they didn't know what I was listening to, they're like, "Oh, what the hell is that?" Like, we just, it's just, but also every album we had back then wasn't a classic. We had some solid albums. I know, but we knew that right away. But now, for some people portray a song that's solid, but it's from an underground great that's dope. But they're just like, well, I'm used to the typical stuff that they say, and like I'm on the grind, and my money this and my money that. I'm like, no, I want to be stimulated, man. I want you to say a story like you or Master Ace or somebody like Black Thought, when you can go into that storybook telling realm. It's just so challenging nowadays sometimes. But again, man, I respect everybody's views on it. But I think the standards are so low that when people hear somebody that can really rhyme, it's like they're amazed with it. But hip hop, to me, is one of the only genres, because if you look at rock music and just say you're a fan of rock guitarists, you're not impressed with the guy who just started playing the guitar 2 years ago. Right. You know what I mean? There's a huge difference. The talent difference, you can hear it. The experience level. I think hip hop is one of the only places where you could literally start 2 years ago, and now they're talking about they got goat emojis. I'm the goat. I'm just like, it's like, it's crazy. Like, you skipped all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I literally rhymed for at least 6 or 7 years, and nobody heard me because I was so afraid of being whack. You know what I mean? I've seen people get booed off stage and bottles thrown at you and things like that. So there was a learning curve. I understood there was a learning curve. There's no learning curve now. It's just, hey, people people start rhyming or people get software, and within the same year, I'm working on my album. It's like, what?
Yeah, I know.
It's crazy.
But you know what? I like that you said that. But you're in luck, my friend, because the term whack and you, they don't go together. It's like a vegetarian going to Burger King to get a Whopper. That's almost like, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But, yeah, man. And that's the thing.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Another dope underground, we're not going to say slept on, a dope underground MC, a female. I'm friends with, I've been blessed to have a friendship with the legendary Jay Dilla's uncle, Uncle Herm.
Uncle Herm, shout out to Herm, man. That's my boy. I love Herm. Great guy, man.
Yeah, Herm is just the man of the people, man. He's a teddy bear.
It's great you say that right while I drink from my Jay Dilla cup.
Ooh, look at that segue. You see how great minds intertwine?
Yeah, man, we synced, man. You know how it is, bro.
You know how it is. I love that. I love it. So yeah, man. Well, Dilla's Delights, unfortunately, the donut shop. You know, they're shut down for a little bit, and Herm's working on some things in the West Coast. Shout out to Herm in the West Coast right now doing his thing. Oh, yeah. But Elsie, her name is Elsie, but she goes also
Boog Brown.
Boog, yes.
Yeah, Boog Brown.
Yo,
I love Boog with her. Yes, man. It's crazy because Boog, I was a fan of Boog really. I think before she was really known like that. I became connected through her because I used to go to Atlanta a lot, which is where I live now. When I lived in North Carolina.
Okay, nice. Okay.
So when I would drive from North Carolina to Atlanta, there was like a group of artists down here that, you know, I would just always go to shows and see. It would be Boog Brown, Illustrate, Yamin Somali, you know, my guy Bamboo that I just did the album for, Binkus Rex, like all of these guys, Prophetics, John Doe, Eddie Meeks. Like all of those people,
underground names that I'm forgetting.
Yes, man.
Yes,
so all of those people played a big part in me moving to Atlanta because I would go to Atlanta and it felt like a community. And Boog was like one of those dope MCs. It's like I could tell she started out more doing spoken word, but then she was a beast, man. Like we did tracks earlier on, and then she did the album with Apollo Brown, and they reached out to me to do that track. And Boog's been on some of my records as well, man. Y'all I love Boog like a sister, yo. She's dope, man.
Yeah, she is, and she seems like a nice person, man. Yeah, so that's somebody I had to mention as well because again, these are the kind of people I want to have on, man, on the show. Because again, your stories need to be told, and it needs to be risen up again in terms of like the consistency of all right. I'm gonna go revisit a song from Supastition. That dope song that he made with, you know, Phonte and Pooh. And by the way, I think, because, you know, the Justice League, of course, you know, the whole North Carolina run that they had. And of course, now they're all doing their thing and they're, you know, they're kind of just busy on their own time. But I think, man, I think it would have worked. Like Crisis and Ninth producing. And this is another mix and match moment. Yeah, so basically, you, Phonte, Big Pooh, and let me see, female wise, I'll throw in Boog Brown, and Jean Grey,
Ooh,
as a collective, like just a group for you guys to just come out with something. I'm like, I think that'll be dope. You know, again, it's just, it's limitless what people that are physically blessed to still be here can collaborate with people they never collaborated with, and it would be interesting to just mesh flavors and styles combined, you know.
Yeah, and the dope thing about that too is it's always 6 degrees of separation. Like, you know, even though we may not all like know each other personally, we've somehow either worked together or we're connected through different people. Like for me, Jean Grey connected through Pumpkinhead, you know, Phonte and Pooh. I originally connected with them through my man Big Doe.
Yes, North Carolina.
Big Doe, yeah, exactly. So when I did my 7 Years of Bad Luck album release party, this was prior to the listening, Big Doe reached out and I was looking for some guys to open or, you know, just anybody to open that was dope. And Big Doe sent me 3 Little Brother songs. And this was prior to like them really putting out music like that. And they opened for me at my album release party of 7 Years of Bad Luck. And, you know, me, Phonte and Pooh have been tight since then. Like I'm okay with Knife, but it's kind of like I'm the type of person I fuck with who I fuck with. I gravitate to, you know, probably Phonte and Pooh because they're MCs or whatever. So we have a little bit more in common and things like that. But we've always been tight ever since then. And just certain members of the Justice League, I'm just like that with. Like, I guess that's why a lot of people got confused of thinking I was in the Justice League.
Yeah, it felt like you were with them because the algorithm of y'all kicking it was like, you were in it. It felt naturally. It was almost like the Busta Rhymes he was a part of Tribe. He's not with Tribe,
Right.
but he's with Tribe. It was almost the same sentiment, and you know, in that respect. So,
right. Yeah, I gravitated to those guys because where I was from in North Carolina, there was a very small group of people that was making the type of music that we were making. And when I discovered those guys, and you know how it is back then too, is if you listen to a local MC, they sounded local. It was a quality level,
right.
whether it was the rhymes or whether it was the production or whether it was the mix. But when I heard Little Brother in the Justice League stuff, it sounded like the most Def stuff that I've heard. You know what I'm saying? The Black Star, the De La Soul, like the quality level, the production. I'm like, yo, who are these guys? And at the same time, they're looking like, yo, who is this guy? Because I'm from a small city in eastern North Carolina. So I was east of pretty much what they were doing. I was about an hour out, but those scenes weren't really connected. And then I went to Charlotte, which is, you know, about 3.5 hours away from my hometown, all the way, you know, kind of on the Western Carolina. So it's like we were making moves in our scenes respectively in different places. And at some point it all came together. I used to hear about when I would come to Raleigh and everybody would be like, yo, because back then I was like a fierce battle MC. And I had some people that were like, they were like, yo, this guy Phonte, man, like, you know, I would love to see you two like battle and just go at it or whatever. But, you know, luckily me and Phonte, we met and we became like brothers. And we always joke and say, you know, Phonte even said it too on Twitter. And somebody had posted something about Phonte. I was like, yo, I'll be glad he's my brother and we never had to like battle. And Phonte said, yo, listen, it would be like a mirror match. He said, he was like, I don't want no problems either. You know what I'm saying? So just the respect level of both of us is, you know, it's a beautiful thing, man.
That is a beautiful thing, man. And again, Phonte is another guy, man. Obviously, he's created a name for himself. And another guy I wanted to mention, segueing and talking about Phonte. And I love, again, man, I love how the convo is just kind of like boom, boom, boom. The pockets are just coming natural.
Yeah.
Nicolay, of course, the Foreign Exchange, Phonte and Nicolay, phenomenal neo-soul R&B group. And then Phonte obviously did some verses on there to go with the R&B flavor.
Mm-hmm.
Nicolay, I remember that track that Nicolay did. Was a remix that Nicolay did for you, was it? Or was that on your album? I'm trying to remember that part vividly.
Yeah, so we started working together shortly after he started working with Little Brother because I kept seeing Nicolay producing tracks for Little Brother, and then I saw him produce tracks for Third Day. Oh. So I just assumed Nicolay was from North Carolina. And when I reached out, they're like, yo, he's in the Netherlands. And so we kind of built from there. He did, what's the first tracks we did? The first couple of tracks might have been the Williams.
The Williams is dope.
Thank you.
That's
the
nice
Williams.
one.
And a lot of people don't know I have Phonte to thank for that too, because he was the guy that actually sent in the song to OK Player. He was like, look, man. Yes, he was like, when they had the OK Player contest and things like that, like I wasn't online like that or anything like that. He was like, yo, I love this song that you and Nicolay have. And I remember Knife used to be crazy about this song. Like the original version of that song just circulated around to so many different people. And Phonte was like, yo, I want to send this in. Because he was like, yo, I'm telling you, you got a great chance of being selected. And I was like, all right, cool, man. I never won nothing in my life. So he sent that over or whatever. But Nicolay, we've had a great working relationship. I don't even know if Nick does a lot of hip hop anymore. He does really foreign exchange stuff like that, man.
Yeah, so I noticed that, man. I still follow Nicolay, but I haven't seen too much. I know he did like some electronic stuff recently, but I'm waiting for that foreign exchange. I'm hoping that they do another foreign exchange. I think that the world needs that. That feel good, earthy neo soul flavor. It's like a warm bowl of soup in your house, just comfort food. Yeah. That flavor, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I love watching the evolution of foreign exchange because it kind of, you know, started out as more hip hop based.
Correct.
But I know, knowing Phonte and knowing Nicolay for such a long time, it's something that those brothers always wanted to branch out and do. They wanted to do more than hip hop. That was Fonte's outlet outside of hip hop. And Nicolay, although he's known for doing hip hop beats, right, you know, he's a musician.
Yes, he is.
So he's always made different type of things. I guess, you know, at that time, he just, you know, you get in where you fit in, you know.
Absolutely. Two other tracks on the debut album behind you on the plaque.
Right.
Best of Life and Crown Man.
Yeah.
Some of those two songs also they resonate with me. I like those songs a lot because everybody has 3 favorites or 4 from an album, and you enjoy the album thoroughly and equally. But those 3, it's definitely some of my favorite tracks, man. And then
thank you.
And then one thing I've noticed as well, man, production with you in production, it seems to be that there's never a bad beat. Like when you run, I feel like your production is always consistent and there's never bad beats. Never.
So let me tell you, like,
isn't it?
So when I did 7 Years of Bad Luck, that was basically to me like a local album. I have always had, and I can say this now, I've always had a talent and a knack for finding talent that was not really undiscovered, but kind of guys that were, guys that were kind of overlooked. And I would always say every producer has at least one incredibly dope beat. Now they may not have 10 beats, but you always have to be able to pick that joint out. And like, so from an early level, I heard about Jake One because we had the same manager at that time.
Oh my God. Look at that. Yeah. And now he's doing this thing with Mayor Hawthorne and they're killing it.
Exactly. Like, so I was managed by a guy, Alif, who was also known as A1. And at that time he was managing with Walt Liquor. And so his roster included Jake One, Vitamin D, DJ Khalil, Planet Asia. Like, yes. So I'm a guy from North Carolina, and and A1 is managing me, so I had connections from that. So that's my connection to Jake One early on, as far as like Nicolay and all these guys. I've just always been able to listen to beats because a lot of people didn't know back then. I've always been kind of a producer since like 1999 or 2000. But once I found these guys, and I started working with them, I'm like, yo, the hell with the production. I need to write. Because they were supplying me with so many dope beats so quickly, I don't have time to work on beats and things like that, man. So, I always say I always had a great ear for production. I always tell myself I probably should have managed producers.
Hey, hey, it's never too late, my brother. Never too late.
Indeed.
All right, so this is the segment where Dead or Alive. Every guest that I have on, it's only right. Dead or Alive Superstition. It can be any of the 5 elements. So it could be a turntablist. It can be a producer, a DJ. It can be an MC. It can be anybody, like in hip hop. Dead or Alive, or music in general. Okay, let's just say that. Dead or Alive. Who is somebody that Superstition hasn't worked with, that would want to work with if they were physically here, for the ones that you choose, whether dead or alive? Mm-hmm. And they said, in the next couple of weeks, let's get something done. Let's do a project together. Anybody that pops in your head, you can take your time because sometimes it's tricky because there's so many people, man. It's spread out across the board.
And I'll do a dead and alive, actually. I like dead, it would have to be Jay Dilla. The man was incredible. I love it. The thing that Dilla did, he made things sound simple. It made it sound simple and, melodic. But once you break down what he actually did to the tracks from a production standpoint, it would blow musicians' minds. Like Questlove and all these guys, like, yo, how did he do that? Like, he broke rules to production. You know what I'm saying? Kind of, what our forefathers and the pioneers put together for production. It's like Dilla learned that, but he said, I'm going to do this my way. So as far as, people that have passed will be Dilla. As far as alive, DJ Premier, bro. Like, I can't think of anybody, and it's crazy. I've met Premier before. He's played my records, and just to hear him spinning my records and, brand new Superstition, like, it's amazing. But I would love to be able to get in with Premier and do something, man. And as a fan, I'm just like, just him knowing that I exist is probably good enough for me.
That's great enough. And shout out to Marco Polo, man. He's on the live with us, so we appreciate it.
Oh, word. Shout out to Marco. That's my guy, man.
Another dope producer right there, man. Another dope producer. Him and Master Ace have this crazy, chemistry.
I met Marco. I actually heard of Marco through my man Pumpkinhead, because I remember I got some beats from Marco, and the reason why I never forgot him because his drop at that time had PH like Pumpkinhead saying Marco Polo on the beats. I'm like, yo, this is Pumpkinhead. And
yes, yeah, there's a song that he produced for Pumpkinhead, and it's a dope song. And oh my God, I forgot the name of it, man, because it was 2004, I believe.
Yeah,
man. But yeah, hey, Marco Polo, he's like, I'm a bum. I love the subtleness. He's like, I'm a bum. The modesty. Hey, man, you know what? Hey, we appreciate you being on with us, and I would love to have you on as a guest too, man. So, you know, we could talk your contribution to this culture.
Yeah, I've known Marco for a long time, man.
Yes, Orange Moon over Brooklyn. Thank you.
Yep.
Fluke. Thank you.
That's the album, man.
Rest in peace once again.
That joint had me and Wordsworth on it too. So.
Yes. Absolutely.
And for those who don't know, there is a book coming out very soon for Pumpkinhead based on Orange Moon over Brooklyn.
What?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Brian Kaiser is working on that. I'll send you a link to it. I know he's putting it together. I don't think it's out yet, but you know, just I know they did a lot of interviews and did a lot of research just to honor his Pumpkinhead's life and his work. So shout out to, because when I tell you, like, as far as people in New York, Pumpkinhead was always that guy to me since the day I met him. He was always real. Even, my wife, she loved Pumpkinhead. When we met him and hung out at like Scribble Jam back in the day too.
Scribble Jam! Oh my God!
Yeah, man.
Woo!
Yep. Yeah, man.
The good old days.
Yeah, the good old days.
The good old days. Oh my God! When you were physically able to go buy a CD after Scribble Jam, let's go get a slice of pizza, and then let's go to Tower Records so we can buy this $25 album that's going to be worth it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right?
Man. Yeah.
Wow. But again, shout out to Marco Polo, man. It's an honor to have you on with us. Just chopping it up. We appreciate you, man. So yeah, you said Dilla, Primo. I mean, that's, and genuinely speaking, they're a part of the Mount Rushmore, right? Because Mount Rushmore is 4 presidents, if I'm not mistaken. Mm-hmm. So they are locked in, those 2 guys, of course, because they've been there since the beginning. And then, man, we can go for hours and talk about how many dope producers that are out now and have been doing it for the last 15, 16 years.
Right.
And they're students of the culture, and they're masterfully, they have done it the right way. Like just Mr. Miyagi and Daniel LaRusso status.
Yeah. I love the evolution of producers now, because before, production was really rooted with having an MC. And I saw it years back happening. And I was telling someone, there's going to become a point where producers aren't going to need rappers. They was like, nobody wants to listen to an instrumental. I said, no one wants to listen to an acapella.
Yeah,
so
exactly right.
I was like, I saw this years ago. I'm like, the production community is going to take off, and these guys are going to be at the forefront. And I'm happy to see that, because there's some talented people out there. You know what I'm saying? As far as producers go. So.
Absolutely. And Flugo, man, thank you for the insight as well. He mentioned Elzai remix, or no, Exile remix. Obviously the dope producer from the West Coast. That's another guy, man. Man, because I feel like a lot of times people collab and stuff is not released. I had on Tash, the legend of the Alcoholics. And I had him on Monday, and he was mentioning a lot of songs that he still has in the vaults.
Yeah.
So I know that you got to have a lot of stuff still in the vaults, which is great, because Illogic's, thank you so much, man. Dope interview, fellas. No, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for that, man. I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, man. Supastition's a good dude. Yeah, so that's the cool thing about being an MC and being a part of the culture in terms of the passion and the songs that you have locked in a special vault, if you will. Like, right? It's like,
I've got them.
Yeah, and I know you do. It's like the Goonies and One-Eyed Willie. That buried treasure is locked in. It's a question of, you have to, when you're ready to unleash it, then you can do that in any time you want, and that's the best part.
I know, like right now, I have an entire album with Knox Raw sitting in the vaults that I recorded 4 or 5 years ago. I have an entire album with Stoop of Jedi Mind Tricks that I recorded 5 or 6 years ago. So I could probably name some of the craziest collabos that I've done that haven't come out yet. You know, I've
you
done
can
some
do
stuff
that
with,
right now because now you're getting. You see, when I do this, when I go like this, that means you're getting me heights.
yeah, that's just a little bit of it. I got a track. I think that's coming out pretty soon with RJD2.
Woo!
You know,
Yes,
man. And when I tell you, I was so amped to get this RJD2 beat because I'm a huge fan of his. I crushed that song, man. Even like my man STS, who's on the song as well too. He was like, "Yo, you ain't have to do me like that on that song." But I was like, "Yo, I was so hyped to be working with RJD2. Like I don't know how many bars I spit, but it was monstrous. I can't wait for people to hear that song because when they hear it, they'd be like, "Holy shit, this guy's going nuts."
Bro, and again, the great minds think alike for the 5th time already because I mentioned RJD2 as an example to you for Mix and Match, for Hip Hop Mix and Match.
Yep.
And here you are mentioning RJD2, which I didn't expect. Man,
shout out to RJD2, my man Ramble Cron, that's his name. So had to throw the government out there. So.
Man,
but I know him. I know him not only through his music, but because I had an early connection to the Columbus, Ohio scene.
Yes,
through DJ Prism. Exactly. I met Illogic, Blueprint, and DJ Prism, rest his soul.
Yes.
All on the same day when they came to Charlotte, North Carolina. I went to their show as a fan because I already knew their music. I was an independent hip hop head, and I went up after the show and was like, "Yo, peace. Love y'all music. My name's Supastition." They immediately stopped and was like, "You Supastition?" And they already knew 7 Years of Bad Luck and all this, and we just always connected. So DJ Prism used to bring me out to a spot in Columbus, Ohio called Bernie's, which was kind of like their lyricist lounge. And I met a lot of people earlier on, you know what I mean? RJD2, Copyright, different people like that too. So I had a connection to the Columbus, Ohio scene back then. So
a lot of talented people in Columbus, Ohio, man. Once again.
Oh, yeah.
And it's funny, man. RJD2, I've definitely used him a lot in my Mix and Match. The 25, the 22 that we've done so far. I've used him at least in 3 of my dream scenarios. So he's a talented producer, and his sci-fi flavor and just like that whole Def Jux appeal, it transcends. I'm very happy to hear that you have a track with him. That's great.
Yeah, man. We put in some work together. I had a chance to meet him on my last tour with Blueprint. It was a sold out show in Boston, and RJ already knew who I was, but when I tell you, it's probably one of the best shows I've ever done. I mean, after that, we stayed in touch because it's like I had something to prove. I'm like, it's an RJD2 show. It's sold out. I've always wanted to rock in. We were at Boston at that time at the Middle East. I think it's a little bit outside of Boston, and crushed it, man. And we stayed in touch ever since then. So I'm a huge fan of RJD2, man.
That's so dope, man. Yeah, he's a multifaceted producer, very complex, and he's got it down to a T.
Definitely.
So yeah, man. I'm looking forward to having you and Wordsworth on Mix and Match. He already said he's down to do it, which is great. And again, man, like you mentioned about Wordsworth, man, he's a special dude, man. And I'm glad that I'm very looking forward to you guys just coming out with that 7 or 8 track EP. We'll call it an album because nowadays it's hard to get 13 or 14 songs in, but I still appreciate it nonetheless.
I think people will love it because we've done some concepts and some things that people haven't heard MCs do. I think people are gonna be pleasantly surprised, bro. It's like when you put 2 MCs together that could literally rap about anything.
Yes,
the possibilities are limitless.
Limitless and infinite. That's
definitely, man.
Again, 2 great minds like you guys, and I can't even wait to hear the production aspect of it too. Like the production that goes along with it
is incredible. And Words is probably, and this is my brother, but Words is probably one of the pickiest guys I've ever met when it comes to beats. So the production is gonna be great.
Woo,
I'm like, this is dope. And he's like, nah, let's just find another one, man. So
definitely, I believe it. Oh man, Super, I appreciate you just being on with me, man. You're a real cool dude. I appreciate your energy. Very, very humble guy. And I'm looking forward to having you on Mix and Match once the time is presented, man. I'm looking forward to that.
Definitely.
Yeah, man. Anybody special in your life right now currently? Or is anybody that you've been thinking about that maybe you haven't talked to in a long time? A friend, a family member, if you will. Somebody special that you would like to shout out before we bounce out in this epic episode?
You know, probably, you know, just shout out to, you know, my family in general, man. Also, you know, my wife is always, she's been my rock, you know, since the beginning. A lot of people don't know just the part she has played in my career, from actually just investing into my first equipment and being there for me through the ups and downs and all of that. You know, my kids as well. You know what I'm saying? You know, shout out to my homies, my real life homies too. I think my brother Bamboo was in here too. I just produced the full album for Bamboo called The Reclamation.
Oh, wow.
Incredibly dope album. Yeah, it's real dope, man. I'll send you like a link to that joint.
Please do. Yeah, I would love to hear that. Definitely.
A shout out to my man Praise. We have a group called SpeakerBullies. We actually just got offered a deal for it, so we're trying to work out just the specifics on that. But SpeakerBullies is, when I tell you it's raw hip hop, just raw, disrespectful, scrunch your face, ugly. Just, you know what I mean?
But dope.
Yeah, it's almost like, you know, we were talking about, it's like, man, this is almost like some Sean P meets Run the Jewels type of, it's just ugly and disrespectful, but it's because their music was so clean. Like, you know, as far as the music we were listening to, it's like dudes are rapping gangster as hell over like elevator music. It's like no,
I like that.
It's like no drums, like nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, you know, like we just wanted to do some really gutter shit over gutter music. You know what I'm saying? So it's like dudes is rapping over Italian soundtracks and shit, man. So which is, you know, it's cool for the type of shit that, you know, that some people do. But we wanted some. Our motto was heavy drums, heavy bars, because that's what it is. Hip hop to me is the drums and the bass, man.
Yeah, man. You need to feel that element every time in a song. You have to. Wow. So I love the title by the name. You said the SpeakerBullies.
SpeakerBullies. Yeah.
That's like, look, this is our backyard. Y'all, you're in our territory. Y'all got to get the hell out. So,
right. And the whole concept behind SpeakerBullies is like, yo, me and Praise are just generally two very nice guys, family oriented.
Right.
But SpeakerBullies is like, you know, everybody's a nice guy, but everybody's got a bad side that you can bring out.
Yes, like the multiverse of badness.
Exactly. It's like I know you've met artists and MCs and producers who, when you see them, they just look calm and cool. But when they play music or they produce or rhyme, you're just like, yo, they become a monster. So that's what a SpeakerBully is to us. You know what I'm saying? Just like you right now, you could just be talking and real chill. But then when you're playing music or whatever, or if you're rhyming, you're just like, yo, he becomes an animal. So that's what SpeakerBullies is. Like, to us, that's what you are, SpeakerBully. So I think people are gonna love this record, man.
Man, I'm looking forward to it, man. And I'm very grateful that you're staying busy and productive, and of course balancing out with the family and still making dope music. That's just great, man. So man, many blessings to you, my brother, and we'll definitely stay connected. As I've, you know, all my guests pretty much, I've been staying connected with them on a consistent basis as best as we can, right? Because life gets in the way. But yeah, man, it's important. Purveyors as yourself and Wordsworth and Blueprint, Logic, a lot of underground legends. I truly thank you again for what you have done for this culture, man, because it's just important, man. And at the time now that the newer generation with the littles and littles this and little that and little, I think that they need to hear you guys out, and it's okay. Like, hey, maybe that's not what you like, but at least give it a chance to digest it. And that way you can say, okay, now I know who Supastition is. I want to go back and dive into his catalog from 2002 and beyond. So
I appreciate that. And what I want to say too, I want to give you your flowers, because I don't think people understand like what you and guys like yourself do is so important to hip hop. And I know this from being in the industry, is that as artists get more popular, it's kind of like revisionist history. You know, kind of the more popular guys tell their stories, or they change their stories because it's from a different perspective.
Yes.
You know, so the guys who actually started something or inspired other people to be great, who went on to be great, may not get talked about. Now, if, you know, just like me, if I see certain artists in public, they're just like, yo, man, you inspired me and things like that. And, you know, same goes for other artists, but you never hear them mention our names. So guys like yourself, you give us a platform to really tell our stories, man. I always joke with people and say, yo, it's like you can help someone all your life, but the second they become more popular than you, it's like they've done you a favor. So,
yeah, right.
So
I love that.
I don't really like the revisionist history. I like the stories to be the same. Perfect example of that is if you watch Kanye West on kind of like Drink Champs and kind of almost kind of like how he shitted on Talib Kweli. And I'm like, wait, at one point, I'm like, you had to live, you wanted to be to live, you had him on your album and things like that. Right. But to me, I didn't respect something like that because it's like, you can't change your history because of how you feel about somebody now. If somebody helped you or helped you get to where you are, history is history. You can't change it. And if you do that, like, that's no better than what the history books are telling us. You know what I'm saying? Or the books in school. Like, yeah, you can't go and change the story. History is history. Correct. Regardless of your version of it. So, but that's why I just want to give, people like you props, because you give MCs like myself who may not have the platform, who may not have the huge audience to tell our stories, and the people who love us and care about us have a chance to listen and hear it straight from the horse's mouth, man.
That means a lot coming from you, bro, and I truly appreciate kind words, and that's truly appreciated, man. Definitely. Thank you so much. That means a lot. And I love that you said that because, a Chicago guy, I was a fan of Kanye even before he blew up, and the homie Hector as well, he's a Chicago guy. Yeah. And like you said it, don't mess with something that was already there. Like, let it be. Talib and Mos and all these guys that you idolize, and all of a sudden you're gonna switch it up just because you're on a higher platform. Don't do that. Like, just stick to your roots, man, and just you are who you are, but don't forget where you came from. Is all I'm trying to say.
Yeah, man. And I know, and especially you being from like Chicago, the No IDs, the Mole Man, all these guys, all the guys that put in work, prior to that or whatever, man. So it's like, don't change your history. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing I could salute Rhapsody for, is that she never really tried to change her history. I've got video of me being on stage and Rhapsody just jumping on stage, excited that I'm on stage. And this is prior to her blowing up and things like that, of just being a fan, but she never got out there and just said, well, I was influenced by this person, and like never mentioned me and things like that. So it's like, I'm always humbled when people keep their stories the same, and not even stories about me, but just in general. Because I've got some friends who've contributed to people and helped a lot of people who became major players in this game, but their stories not talked about. They never get mentioned. So, that's why I said, man, make sure people are giving history lessons. Be truthful.
Yeah, man.
For better or worse, be truthful about it. Like Davey DMX won for the treble from back in the day. He gave me my first contract. It was a horrible contract, but I don't go back and write him out of my history. He was part of my history, for better or for worse, and things like that. So I always try to shout out people that have contributed to it, man. And hopefully people do the same for me.
Absolutely, man. And again, man, I enjoyed the conversation with you, man. We just clicked on every cylinder, and I'm grateful for that. Yeah, man, I love it. So, man, God bless you and your family. And I'm definitely going to archive and post this. And I can't wait to spread the word to everybody. For everybody that didn't get a chance to see it live, you can definitely check it out on the way home from work or grocery shopping, whatever you want to do. So much love to you, brother. Salute. And then I'm going to keep you, actually, we'll communicate for Hip Hop Mix and Match, so then we can set it up with Words and a fourth guest as well. So,
okay. All right. Sounds good, bro. Thank you for the opportunity, man.
Absolutely. It was a pleasure, my brother. We'll stay in touch.
Indeed, man. Peace, bro.
You got it. Peace. All right. The man with the plan. There it is. Hey, Rubik's One. Thank you for, dude. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. You already know how we do it here, bro. Again, man, that was very nice of him to say that, to give me my flowers. That was appreciated. So that does mean a lot. Superstition, the class act, phenomenal MC, him and Wordsworth, Speakerbullies, a lot of projects coming up, and I'm very happy for the guy. He's a good guy. So everybody, For everybody that's not following SlickBlast RapCast, please do, please spread the good word, the good gospel on SlickBlast RapCast. Again, we talk authentic hip-hop, nothing more, nothing less. Music, of course, in general. And I just want to thank everybody that's been rocking with me. And, you know, love you guys. I appreciate you guys. And tomorrow will be, tomorrow mix and match tomorrow night. I'll announce the time. The first mix and match of 2022. And then special guest Friday. The legendary Chip Pooh. Oh, man. Rubik's One, my brother, again, man, I truly appreciate all of that, bro. I appreciate the love, man, and it resonates. I'm doing the best that I can, man, and I appreciate you sticking with it. I do appreciate it. Friday, Chip Pooh, the legendary Chip Pooh of the Poohschnickens. Yes, I'm going to have him on Friday, so I'm hyped for that one. You already know Chip Pooh is a legend, the rapid fire flow, one of the fastest. Oh, my God, it's nuts. So Chip Pooh this Friday of the Poohschnickens, and he's got some new material out now as well, which is pretty dope. And then tomorrow, the first annual of 2022 hip hop mix and match. That should be a fun one. Rambo, Rich, thank you for joining, my brother. The show's about to end. Check it out when I post it. All right. Much love to you as well. Love you all. All right. Once again, I am the Bar King Nostalgic. Y'all be well, be safe, healthy, happy. All right. One love. I'll see you all tomorrow. Peace.